And there you go.
Wow. Hey, Joe.
I got my lunch all packed, my shoes tight. I hope I don't get in a fight.
Back to school. Back to school. I'm gonna do a little something for the people who tune in the live stream.
Okay.
I'm gonna put some all 22 on in the background.
We're gonna get
DCMA or whatever.
Sued for that, yeah.
Fight me. I don't care. You can see it back there? You can see it?
You know,
Chris?
I can't see anything. Remember that? I don't have the same privileges that
Oh,
you
right. You're not an admin. You hate to see it. Chris, what do you think of the special features for the people on the live stream tonight?
What do you mean by special features for people on the live stream? Oh, is it what's going on behind you?
Yeah, I'm gonna put some all 22 on for the people.
Great, that'll get us taken down off the internet.
Might only last a couple minutes, but
yeah,
I figured it was worth the old college try.
I don't know whose film that is. I can see it. It's very, very low. You gave me a player to watch today, so that's my new project for tomorrow.
What player are you watching?
Tevin Jenkins is who I was tasked with watching.
Not safe for work. Make sure no one's around, brother.
I know that was what I was told. I was told to do that. So I will be watching that tomorrow.
Did we send a plug from the main account?
Yeah.
Did we send a plug? Yes, we did. Are you kidding me?
Great. I'm gonna make sure I give us a little bump, get a little extra viewership in here. Doomsday scenarios. There you go. I see it.
Tweet.
Yeah. The DMCA incoming. Kyle, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Joe can't. Kyle can.
Correct.
I'm going to show this to you, not for the listeners. I didn't know this was a thing. This is now a thing.
Wow.
Right?
No free product placement on this show, but
that's a game changer.
This is interesting. So, in attendance for the North Dakota State Pro Day tomorrow, Trey Lance, you have Falcons GM Terry Fontenot and head coach Arthur Smith. You have Lions coach Dan Campbell and their GM Brad Holmes. And from the Panthers, you have Scott Fitterer, their GM, and head coach Matt Rule. Now, this is important because you can only have 2 reps there. Also in attendance is Jets GM Joe Douglas, but we did not hear about Robert Saleh.
Chris, your thoughts? Lance at 2. Lock it in.
Zach Wilson at 2. Never a doubt.
Hey, while we're getting ready to start here, today's show is all about free agency doomsday scenarios. So we are relying on you, the listeners, to provide us your team's version of a free agency doomsday scenario. So I see Sean already has dropped one in for the Giants in the comments.
Sam's trolling me with one with the Jets.
Make sure you are dropping these into the comments where you are watching so that we can tackle your version of a free agency doomsday scenario for your team.
Shall we?
If you'd like, we shall.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes here on the Draft Dudes live stream. We're going to have fun tonight. It is doomsday scenarios for your team in free agency. And for this to work, we need your participation. Fill up the chat with exactly what you're afraid of might happen for your team next week. My doomsday scenario is the Bills paying Chris Carson any money.
Wow, any money. You just don't want the man on your football team.
I don't. I mean, like 1 year, $1 million. All right. But I mean, let's be real. He's probably going to get like 2 years, 10. And I don't want to be
There's nothing wrong with that for Chris Carson.
Oh, there is.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Bad. That doesn't agree. What's yours? You got one for the Finns?
Not right now.
You don't do you have one, Shub, for the Jets?
I think it would be grossly overpaying to revamp the wide receiver room. I'm really worried about them putting big time money into a contract for a wide
Let me
receiver.
tell you what's going to happen with the Jets next week.
They're going to put a lot of money into the wide receiver room. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Why is that? You're going to get a young quarterback, right? Why do you want to not give that quarterback veteran weapons that know what they're doing?
To quote my friend on this show, the Jets have a lot of needs. They got a lot of things that need to be fixed, probably 22 positions worth that need to be addressed. Putting big time money into a wide receiver, I think, needs to be low on the list. Not saying
Don't you think that matters a lot for your young quarterback?
It does.
Joe, did I say to not get anybody? I just said don't spend big time money on a receiver. That's all I said. Go sign Corey Davis. I don't want to spend $18, $19 million a year for a Juju or a Kenny Galladay. That's all.
What happens if Corey Davis gets 14?
Well, that's a different story, right? That changes things a little bit. That changes the context. I would feel a little differently about it. I'm assuming that he gets,
3 years, 50.
That's a lot of money.
Is it your money, though?
It's not my money. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. It's not my money. But that's my fear. You want my doomsday scenario? That's my doomsday. Or they spend a ton of money on their offensive line once again, just like they did last offseason, and it's a dumpster fire. All right. You guys ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. This one from Sean. Giants doomsday would be keeping Leonard Williams on the books for $19 million, and the only other big signing being Curtis Samuel, who would absolutely be wasted in Jason Garrett's offense.
Wasted.
I don't know if I like the fit with Jason Garrett, if we're being honest.
I agree with that. I agree that he's not a great fit for them. He's a player.
Can we think of anything worse for the Giants to do other than bringing back Dalvin Tomlinson for like $12 million per?
I mean, they need another wide receiver for Daniel Jones.
They've been tied to Galladay. I've seen that.
That's aggressive.
One league source with the Miami Herald said Galladay wouldn't be surprised if he either landed with the Giants or the Dolphins.
Is that a doomsday for you?
The Dolphins like big wide receivers, so I get it. I don't know if it's a great fit for Tagovailoa.
Yeah,
that's right. Deshaun's gonna be your quarterback anyway. This one here, Titans doomsday scenario in free agency is paying Judon or Dupree $15+ million a season.
This is a good take. I like this one. I agree. Joe?
Well, yeah, and I mean, goodness gracious, they can't again the edge stuff. But going after one of these guys is a smart move, but maybe not them, right? Dupree coming off the injury, Judon, you kind of have wonders about what he's going to be like outside of that Baltimore environment. So you need to get this right at edge, and so I can see those being too risky of options.
The Ravens and Judon, especially in 2019 when he had the big breakout before he got the franchise tag in the first place, were so dependent on blitz pressure. I think they blitzed like 54 or 56% of their snaps defensively in 2019. Yeah. So like he had a lot of manufactured one-on-ones, and he played, I think, 50% of the snaps this year for Baltimore. And I think he's a great early down player, but he doesn't win a lot of his one-on-ones as a pass rusher. And if you're going to pay a guy $15 million per, you better be getting some one-on-one pass rush. Who had the saying, Joe, don't pay for sacks?
Oh,
do you remember that?
I'm not sure.
Somebody said don't pay for sacks, especially like in a free agent year. The guys who have the big sack breakouts in their
Romeo Okwara, Jordan Phillips.
It's a troublesome trend. So like, don't pay for sacks. Pay for whether it's pressures or whatever kind of metrics you would measure.
Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, these are all scary guys for that reason.
This one from Daniel. Raiders don't pick up a starter quality tackle and have to use their first to address need rather than taking best player available.
All right, so how many starting quality tackles are on the market?
Should go and listen to our Draft Dudes podcast in which we went through those free agents.
We just got a couple more added with the Chiefs releasing both of their guys.
Well, Schwartz might be retiring, so let's not add him into here just yet.
And Fisher's coming off an Achilles.
Yes, which he hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a large human with lower extremity injuries.
So I don't know how good I feel about adding either one of those two if I needed a starting caliber tackle. But like Trent Williams just went on the Collinsworth Sherman podcast and said you were barking up the right tree that they ironed something out with San Francisco, and he stays in San Francisco. Cam Robinson got the franchise tag.
Yeah.
What are the guy you're going to sign that you're going to feel really, really good about if you're the Raiders?
Darrell Williams.
It's your only option then.
Right. As a true right tackle.
Right.
Because Villanueva's can play the left, but you got Colton Miller. You don't need that.
Is this the most realistic doomsday that we have so far?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the Titans one was good as well.
Yeah. But do we really think they're going to throw $15 million at specifically either Dupree or Judon?
I think there's a chance of that, right?
Yeah, but I think this is more likely because
Yeah.
there's only one or two fits that you really even feel somewhat optimistic about.
Yeah. Maybe there's some cuts coming. I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't feel good about that.
This one from Ross is pretty funny. Lions losing 3 of their top 5 players. Oh, wait.
All right, so who are we? Who's in this top 5 Lions players?
Okay, so
Stafford, Galladay,
Stafford,
Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker.
Aquara, are we including Aquara?
Aquara, yeah. I don't think Christian Jones, Jared Davis, those guys.
Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin Jones.
That's fair.
Sorry, bud.
Rebuilding is tough, but in the grand scheme of things, admitting that you need to rebuild is a big step in the right direction for getting your team turned around, and hopefully Detroit's got the right people there to put that infrastructure in place.
The Atlanta Falcons signing Jadeveon Clowney. The rare approval Maraca on a Thursday.
Listen.
Wow.
Doomsday. If you get it for like a cheap deal where it's inconsequential, but if you're going to go out and do like the 1-year, $10 million thing with Clowney, you got to think about something else.
I got bad news for your hypothetical, Joe.
Okay.
Jadeveon Clowney does not sign small time deals. He wants those big time deals, and if he doesn't get it, then he's going to hold out until after training camp. And then
get out of here. That's what I say about that. Move on with our lives.
Let's do this one from Von. Tell us a lot of them in here, so everybody keep them coming. I will get as many of them up as possible. Doomsday, bringing back Patrick Peterson and signing Juju.
Signing Juju in Arizona.
I disagree with this one.
Do you think the presence of J.J. Watt helps maybe invigorate Pat Pete a little bit?
Maybe. My issue with this is the idea that it is the worst case scenario for the Arizona Cardinals to bring back Patrick Peterson, I think is false, because look at that cornerback room and tell me who you trust on opening week of the 2021 season. You know what you're getting in Patrick Peterson. It may not be Patrick Peterson from 5 years ago, but he was a decent player for them last year, and I think decent's being maybe a little unfair to Pete too. So I don't know if it's a doomsday. I think him leaving is a bigger deal. He's gone. I don't know who they're playing there.
And if you're Arizona, you sign Juju.
You're going to sign Juju to the same amount of money that you just signed DeAndre Hopkins to in an extension? Like, that's not a good idea.
Right.
You had the second. You had draft dudes do math, but they had like the second or highest wide receiver room with their top 2 guys last year. It didn't work out that well because they paid Larry like 11.5. Maybe the Juju part of this is fair.
I don't know. I think anybody. It depends on what Juju's going to end up getting. But if Juju's getting like $13 to $15 million, like I'm all the way out. Like I'd rather let somebody else sign him for that and take my chances with a really deep wide receiver class in the NFL draft and some of these middle tier guys at wide receiver and free agency.
I said this on tomorrow's Draft Dudes, but I think Pat Pete is this year's Xavier Rhodes.
Well, spoiler alert.
Yeah, well,
dude, come on, that was a good take on the. Oh my.
Right. Well, sorry, bringing it to the live stream as well.
Unbelievable.
Jeez, just give away the content. This one here listen, Trevor, I appreciate you being here, but normally there's a word associated with this for Joe, and I didn't get
vocabulary word.
I didn't get hashtag new.
I know all of these words. Starting right tackle.
Bears doomsday scenario, deciding to not sign a starting right tackle because they think Jermaine Ifedi is a starting right tackle.
Goes back to the Raiders thing. Like, if you want a starting right tackle, you better go get Darrell Williams because that's it. You only can sign with one team. Good thing I have 8 offensive tackles in my current top 50 right now. How many you got, Kyle? I'm guessing about that many.
Oh, I don't remember, but you're going to make me go look.
Well, I knew that if I said that, you would want to.
How would I possibly have that ready off the top of my head?
It just seems like something you would have on your head. I mean, I don't know.
My retention is not that strong.
It's more likely that Kyle would be able to wear your poop hat, Joe, than to have that number handy on his head.
Really?
Well, I'm not.
Kyle's usually got this stuff.
I'm not that bad.
Holstered.
Right. No, I just meant like it's just not. It's not readily available to you, like the poop hat.
Okay.
Kyle, the commish there. Filer is an underrated right tackle. That's a good take. I agree. Matt Filer. If you don't get Darrell Williams, yeah, both of those are. I rather have Filer, but yeah, those are two more names to bring to the table.
See, Joe, this is what you've done. This is your fault,
Daniel. You had to play into Chris and Kyle, didn't you?
I have 8, but I think with one of the grades when I first posted that, which was on the first 10 days ago, we've done some cross checks on some guys, and I'll probably have 7.
Oh, somebody dipped.
Oh,
yeah.
Kyle, this one's for you. This one is a doomsday scenario for Miami, and it's not a name that I've seen linked to Miami, so I'd love your thoughts because he's a guy that I know pretty well. Hassan Reddick. Signing Hassan Reddick, is that a doomsday scenario for Miami?
I think when you look at the allocation of funds for Miami, and listen, that you just cut Kyle Van Noy and he was making $12.5 in base salary this year and had a cap hit that was greater than that, over 15. I don't think you sign Kyle Van Noy, release Kyle Van Noy 1 year later to sign Hassan Reddick to kind of fill a parallel role to what Kyle Van Noy did. I think signing any big money defensive free agents this year could be classified as a doomsday scenario because of how well the defense came along in 2020, and you have desperate need to build infrastructure around a young quarterback. So if you're making those kinds of moves, cutting Kyle Van Noy's of the world, and you're bringing in defensive players as in return, you could technically probably call that a doomsday scenario.
What if they sign him to the exact deal that PFF has him projected to get, which is 1 year, $8.5 million, fully guaranteed?
That's what they have Reddick signing as?
Yep.
I think
do that.
If that's the deal, he's back in Arizona, I think.
Yeah. Somebody's going to give him $10 million per year, I think. Somebody's going to pay for the sacks.
But for how many years? Like, how many years are you comfortable, or do you think a team will be comfortable giving Reddick?
I could see it being more of a short-term thing because he only really had the big boom in production this year. Maybe a 2 or 3 year deal. I'd be really surprised if a player as young as Hassan is, who had the production that he had, only gets a 1 year deal. That would really surprise me.
So if we're in like the $10 million range, are we looking at like 330, 335?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a bit of a risk because he really only had the 1 year of production. Guys, I think I found the winner. And I know it's a little early in the stream to be doing this, but I think we found the winner. The Bengals not signing any quality offensive lineman in free agency. This is a great call. Unbelievable call by you, William. Unbelievable.
I don't know. Is this a poop hat or is this a maraca? This is all of it. It's a good bad take and I'm twisted up here.
It's beside himself. That's how good the take is.
How good it was. Yeah, I saw it and it was.
So I would like for whoever put that in, tell me some of the what's your offensive line plan? What are you hoping to get here in free agency? Who are the starting quality guys that you hope to get? We know there's some good interior players.
Yep. Get a center.
You figure Hopkins is good at center, but they need 2 guards. Oh, Hopkins is a reasonable center.
He is a reasonable center, but there should be nobody above reproach. If you get an upgrade what if you could sign David Andrews?
It's good.
And try and play Hopkins at guard?
Yeah.
Done. There you go. You upgraded 2 spots.
Go get Joe Tooney.
Correct. Sign Andrews and Tooney. Get weird.
Right. Draft Penei Sewell and let's go.
Yeah, they also have that in their back pocket, is that they'll probably be in Penei Sewell range. Great work by the chat tonight, guys. I'm going to try to get all of these. By the way, Kyle, Sam would like to know, is he correct? Is it one of those 2 gentlemen that is on in the background?
It's Amari Rodgers.
Okay.
What is Chris, you're the tech guy. What's the maximum number of time that I can run a
I don't
Run
know.
a video before
I
the
don't know.
copyright kicks in.
It's gonna. You're kind of already infringing on it. I'd kind of like you to stop doing it right now.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just trying to help people out, get a little tape in.
We appreciate that. Okay, sorry. I was going to find another one here. By the way, Joe, Charles on your side says he's going to still listen to the pod, even though you gave away all the good content earlier in the show. Let's see here. Okay, where was the Bears one that I saw? There was a Bears one that I saw here. Hold on.
Bears.
I will find this one. It's just Sam again. Bears doomsday scenario. Another year of Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, no.
But how do you fix that in free agency? Who you get in free agency?
Well, no, Trubisky's a free agent, correct?
Yeah.
So the doomsday scenario is that they would have made the active decision to re-sign Trubisky.
Or you keep Foles, whose status quo as is. So you're damned if you do.
And I would assume that both were there in that scenario.
Oh, okay. So
that means they make the decision to be like, hey, Mitch, please come back to the team. And I would agree that would be pretty bad.
Would you rather, mixing concepts here tonight?
Yeah, it's not what we're doing tonight, but okay.
Would you rather sign Mitchell Trubisky or Marcus Mariota to a contract, a 1 year, $10 million, which is what Mariota is scheduled to get with the Raiders, and he's apparently expected to get cut?
Mariota.
Yeah, Mariota for me.
Do you disagree with that?
Are you in agreement?
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Yes.
I was just putting it out there into the space. I didn't know if anybody had a take.
Let's find this one here. This is a good one. This one's for Kyle. Doomsday for NFL free agency. Fitzmagic retiring because no NFL team signs him. This is a good one.
This is
a very good one.
Confirmed doomsday scenario. Send that man to Chicago. Send him to Washington. Send him anywhere that's not New England, and let's get weird. And I will root my ass off for Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2021.
Chicago or Washington. Love it.
The guy, everybody's putting them in there so fast. I'm missing some of them. This one from Kyle, the commission. Ravens doomsday, not retaining one of Yannick Ngakoue or Matt Judon.
It's good. It's good. You got to hope for Yannick in this scenario, but both of those guys leaving would not be great. You'd have a big hole at edge. Now, they probably like Jalen Ferguson, and you could get somebody in the draft, but after investing, a few picks into Ngakoue, and him playing well, I'd want him back.
Let's see here. I know I'm just trying to find some good ones because people are putting in some teams that we've already talked about. So I'm trying to keep it fresh here.
Everybody, he just called your takes bad.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. Doomsday for Chiefs. They can't sign one above average offensive lineman.
So can we do this left or right? Can we work through?
We can try. This
left
is testing us
here.
here.
Left tackle's wide open. It's a good year. It's a good year to need a left tackle. That's
Lucas
fine.
Lucas Nang coming back healthy.
Playing right tackle. Like you did at TCU, okay.
Yes,
we were gonna go from left to right, but you went all the way to the right, and
that's what I said.
Going the other way.
Yep. Yeah, great job.
You got Duvernay Tardif at one of the guard spots.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're even wide open at center too, aren't they?
I'm looking it up because I knew this was.
Ryder's a free agent, but they have Allegretti. Yeah.
Does he count?
Who, Nick Allegretti? Or
does Nick Allegretti count as it's like, okay, we're bringing Nick Allegretti back. Great.
They have Stefan Wisniewski.
So you need three starting offensive linemen if we're assuming Lucas Niang, who they drafted, takes a starting spot.
Let's not forget about Prince Tagovailoa as well.
So they need three starting offensive linemen.
Listen, I'm just trying to throw some internal names out there. They don't have any cap. They're still $3 million over the cap right now.
I understand that. Bring back Austin Ryder and draft a new left side. Although that sucks. You don't want two rookies starting next to each other either. So you'd almost be better off starting the guard and going for a center and drafting Josh Myers and a tackle.
Get your $500 million quarterback in. We got a lot of questions here.
Okay, what if we went Eichenberg at 31 and like Josh Myers in the second round?
Now we have Nang, Duvernay, Tardif, and figure it out at one guard spot. All right.
Yeah, you got to sign one guard free agent.
Okay. Sure. Or you have Nick Allegretti or Stefan Wisniewski.
I'm all for a good joke one, so I'll throw this one up. the Saints Doomsday is having to get under the cap.
Sam Teets got that under control.
So I'm not trying to call out Sam, not in the slide.
Oh, the math doesn't work, huh?
Because Sam did a really good job and he put it together, but the Saints have not emulated his plan at all. They're going in a completely different direction because we talked about it on the Thursday edition of the show. What they did with Jenkins's contract was something that Sam didn't even consider them doing. So they're doing things that I don't even think are on anybody's radar. So anything's possible at this point. When it comes to what
you,
Saints
Sam, you didn't have all the internal working knowledge of the contracts and exactly what was possible.
This is all I get. That's all I get. I don't even get an
appropriate. The appropriate response. My assistant GM. I think I'm more like his assistant GM, but I'm terrible because I don't really contribute. So he should probably fire me.
Okay, let's find this one here. This is aggressive. Patriots Doomsday. They traded 15 of the 49ers for Jimmy and 43. Gilmore for OBJ. Both Jimmy and OBJ get injured. This is aggressive.
It's pretty bad.
Let's just evaluate the moves that are made, not the injury part.
The injury part, yeah.
I think the injury part's a little unfair.
Our two Hallmark guys we're bringing in both get hurt. Yeah, that's so let's start with 15 for Jimmy and 43. Let me get the trade value chart. Chris, I'll get that. Oh, sorry.
Can you stop playing the tape in the background, please?
I bumped the mouse and hit the thing. Let me get the trade value chart up if you guys want to keep talking.
No, please, absolutely. I think this is extremely aggressive from from New England's point of view. I don't know if I'd give up 15 for Jimmy G.
No way.
Not even I don't care what the trade value says. I'm not doing this.
Back. You get 43 back too, so you're trading down 28 spots. I'm not a math guy, so I'm doing the actual math right now.
Yeah, I don't care what the math says. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, this is no good.
Thanks. This is the math backing it up.
The trade value chart would value Jimmy Garoppolo as the equivalency of the number 33 pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah, no, thank you. So, won't do
so
it.
what is his value? Like a 4?
You could convince me of a 3.
Like early 3 or late 3, because that's a difference of a significant amount of points.
Okay, well let's play this game, and I'll bring it back to my team because that's what I do. Sam's worth a 2, right? So go from there. Where do you value Jimmy G in comparison to that?
Less.
Probably a full round less.
Okay, so then
at least you have the argument of youth, and I'm sure some in the comments will find that as a hot take, but I don't think so. So let's call it a mid 3. Was our hinge point 49.5 overall in what Darnold returns?
Yeah, that is a bet between you two. Yes.
Yes, and I'm over.
Oh, is it?
That's an official bet that was made on the show. Yeah, I'm so glad you're keeping track. This is your bet, Joe. You're in the bet.
I know, but I never keep track of it. But I will pay up if I'm wrong. So just remind me of what the deal was.
If Darnold nets higher than pick 50, you win.
Mm-hmm.
And if Darnold nets lower than pick 50, I win.
Alex, I'm going to put yours up right now because I think this is brilliant. We love a good little self-reflection here on the show. Doomsday. We had a dude that's a Patriots fan at the show. Great call.
Right.
Let me tell you what we're not going to do.
That's
what we're not going to do. Add a Patriots fan to the mix.
I don't think we can handle it.
Okay, so I've seen a couple of these. So I'm gonna put these up here. This one from our Fritz about the Packers. Their Doomsday going into next season with A.J. Dillon and a rookie at running back and not drafting a wide receiver till day 3 of the draft. It's a little bit of draft Doomsday there, so I'm just focusing on the first part. But I also want to put up another Packers-related one, which was the Packers failed to sign Jones or Williams and Dillon gets fumbleitis. Why are we wishing bad things on these players?
I don't think we are.
I know it's Doomsday, but my goodness.
Doomsday.
So the first one there about not drafting a receiver, well, what if that means you signed Emmanuel Sanders or John Brown or something like that? You'd probably be okay with that.
Let me ask you this, Joe. What does John Brown have left in the tank?
A lot. It's a good
player. I think he's going to go somewhere and thrive.
You think so?
I really do.
Yes. He tried to play hurt all damn year.
I think he might go back to Arizona. They have a need. He's going to be comfortable there. It's going to be a new system. I think that's where he might end up.
Okay. How much do you think Emmanuel Sanders has left in the tank?
I think he's a good player still.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not expecting like a 3-year deal, but I think they can come help a team this year.
Okay.
Be happy with what you get.
Okay. Please continue.
I thought there was a point that you were trying to make there.
No.
You were just asking us a question. Okay.
Yes.
This is another Titans related one. This is a Titans offensive doomsday scenario. Going into a season with a wide receiver room behind A.J. Brown of Bates and Westbrook, rookies need an experienced wide receiver too.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't like this at all. Especially if they lose Jonnu. You know what I mean?
What's wrong with drafting a guy?
I just feel like you need more. I mean, it would need to be a higher pick rookie.
Yeah, first or second round pick at wide receiver.
So first or second round pick, A.J. Brown.
Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, that's good. You still need to find that slot. I know Adam Humphries never really lived up to what they hoped. So find yourself a slot. I mean, but at tight end, I don't know that Jonnu's back for them.
Right, but that's a different room, right? We're not talking about the tight end room.
I know, but I feel like if you get a whole picture of the weaponry, it helps.
Sign Gerald Everett. Take the discount. Get a comparable player.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Hey, Rahul.
This one from Rule. Colts Doomsday. Either one, spending a large amount of their cap on a receiver, or two, of the edges going with Trey Hendrickson. 1 year wonder, in my opinion. Joe, your thoughts. Penny for your thoughts on this one.
I think Trey Hendrickson's been a consistent player for the Saints. He just finally got to the point where he was getting that playing time to put up the numbers. So I think the best thing that you could say to get me nervous about Hendrickson is that defensive line was really stacked, like 3 deep everywhere. And so, the pressure wasn't on him to be, the impact guy in the group. Yeah, he can be a really nice piece. So I get nervous if you bring him in to be like your lead pass rusher. Like, hey, we need you to be the guy that consistently affects the quarterback. I'm not sure that's the role, but if you can get him as a complimentary piece on your D line, I think that's beautiful.
Can we address the first one? Because I don't know, with the team that has that much cap space and most of the rest of their roster figured out, I don't know if it's that bad of a move if they gave $18 to $20 million to a wide receiver.
Can you put it back?
It was just spending a ton of money on the receiver position. It was spending a large amount of their cap on a receiver. They have $43 million in cap space.
So they have Pittman.
Hilton's a free agent.
T.Y. might be gone.
Paris Campbell.
Paris Campbell, eventually you need something from him. I think they need some receivers.
I think they've got enough depth quality players. I would like them to go get a top end guy, personally.
And I don't think it's a disaster if they spend that money because their roster is pretty much filled out everywhere else, and they have draft capital.
It's just a question of when is Ballard ever going to fill up the boat, right, and spend a bunch of money. They've had a ton of cap space for like 3 consecutive years now.
Maintaining flexibility.
They like to have the rollover cap, and they like to have the flexibility to bring a guy in like a DeForest Buckner and pay him a $20 million per year contract if the opportunity strikes, and still have like top 5 salary cap space in the NFL. So I don't know if they front loaded, I could get behind this because then it returns them to having long-term flexibility if you pay out big this year because you're one of the few teams that has that luxury.
It feels like it's Sam's brand to only bring up Saints-related content, so I will continue to feed the beast that is this.
Do we even know who's what team does Sam like?
I don't know, but he is now a Saints fan.
Okay,
he is now a Saints fan. Saints Doomsday trade Marshawn Lattimore and Ryan Ramczyk. Jameis gets offered $20 million per year deal by Washington and leaves. Yeah, this would be a Doomsday scenario.
Correct.
Well, yeah, you think
this would be a disaster?
Those guys are like core pieces of your roster, but I feel like the Saints have identified every player as a core piece of their roster, and they haven't really done anything
like what they got.
Yeah, it's like, but they never part with anything to get something back, right? You don't see him doing that. Sam's a Steelers fan, as we all expected. He's given Bears doomsday scenarios. He's fixing the Saints, and of course, he's a Steelers fan
because that was the plot twist we were all expecting. This one, the Bengals signing Villanueva for $10 million instead of drafting Penei Sewell. Why can't they do both?
You do both, I'll get real excited.
Yeah, kick Jonah inside and prosper.
Draft a center, draft Creed Humphrey on day 2 now too, and let's get 4 new starters on this line because we need them.
Joe, here's a Bills one. We haven't had a Bills one on the show today.
If this is from Charles, I agree. That's terrible.
Bills Doomsday. Pay John Ross as wide receiver 2 and don't upgrade edge or CB2.
If anybody's paying John Ross as their wide receiver 2, like that's terrible.
Wide receiver 2 money is blank to blank $1 million per year.
8 to 12?
Yeah, I think so too.
For a vet, that'd be disgusting.
What's the most amount of money you'd pay John Ross?
The veteran minimum.
Oh, come on, Joe.
You think I'm like people, if you think I'm being sarcastic, I'm not. That's the most I would pay John Ross for a hurt guy that does not control his speed, that's a bad ball handler, has poor hands, doesn't have good ball skills, can't run routes. Like, what's the appeal besides he can run in a straight line really fast and be hurt all the time?
Very romanticized because he had that 1 year where he caught like 18 balls and 9 of them were touchdowns or whatever. And like
crap about that.
I'm not interested in John Ross.
When I say the most I would pay him is the league minimum, like I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being honest with you.
Watch. Now, somebody's going to pull this clip when Ross blows up this year.
It's fine.
And
it's going to be
egg on our face. But
you will.
You can old takes exposed. That's all you want. We get it. But the indication, the writing on the wall is if it was going to happen, it would have happened already.
Can I throw 2 more up there before we get out of here?
Yeah, let's do 2 more.
Okay, this is a fun one from Clay. Doomsday was when Joe couldn't find the poop pad. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. We're back though. We were in our Doomsday, but we got out of it mainly unscathed because it's back. It's back, and now we've learned that there are different light settings on it, which is
if you leave it on long enough. Which if I can find.
And you know what? I'm going to reward Trevor because he came back at the end with new vocabulary for Joe, and it's a word that I don't even think I'm going to be able to pronounce. So we're going to have to do it together. Doomsday. Washington goes into the draft with only the actuator of Washington's near upset in the playoffs at quarterback, Taylor Heineke. # vocabulary for Joe. So while you guys discuss, and I know the chat's probably already going to put it in there, but that's not the way the game gets played.
Actuator, like I'm guessing it means like the catalyst in a way.
An actuator is a component of a machine that is responsible for moving and controlling a mechanism or system.
Catalyst.
Great job, Joe.
I swear I used I deductive reasoning so I didn't. Okay, of course I don't have any idea what the take was because the whole time all I thought about was what the word was. I knew it was something about Taylor Heineke.
Well done, Charles. Well done.
Draft.
Well done. Would you like it back up?
Please, you take them down quick, man.
You go into. I took that one down because Charles had a great take.
Okay, blame it on the other producer who's producing and not telling me what he's doing.
Tell me to get a new login and I'll leave. I have access to all these amenities. I'm going to use them.
So here you go, Joe. It's on the screen for you. Okay, this is for you. It's # vocabulary for Joe.
I think there's a fair chance that it is a competition between Taylor Heineke and Kyle Allen to be the quarterback in Washington next year. I think that is a very fair possibility. And I think that is doomy because, you just won that division. And Dak's back in Dallas, Big make or break year for the Giants. Philly, you got some work to do.
I'm waiting for Chris.
I would want to see them get Fitz.
What are you waiting for?
The tape's
right. What are you doing with the tape in the background, man? Come on.
We're always grinding the tape. We're done here. We're done here. Live stream Doomsday scenarios
to watch.
We saw a few draft-related Doomsdays. That content is coming closer to the draft. So
keep those in your back pocket.
Keep them in the back pocket. I know the game is going. There's no accidents here in this home office.
What's that from? Kung Fu Panda. There are no accidents.
Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino, Chris Schubert. Thanks for tuning in to the live stream. Brought to you by our friends at Mighty Swell. Go watch yourself a movie, preferably not Kung Fu Panda. We'll talk to you guys soon.